So, there's a lot of things that I could say, but here's like the general rundown. I I don't I don't I do not I've heard a lot of people say, oh yeah, your frontal lobe develops when you're 25 and you start realizing things about the world. You start feeling like a fully grown human. And apparently that's fake. You never really stop growing. That I believe. I do think that over the last couple of years, I've gotten more stable in some areas of critical thinking and decision making, and just like leveling out the teenageriness of how your brain works, if that makes sense. Like less impulsive and emotional, but certain things just don't go away because mental illness is still there. It's a weird balance of growing up, but not being able to grow up the same as other people. It's more like up in here. I think, like with that as a baseline, another part of it is like I'm playing catch up. For one, feeling delayed because of COVID and lockdowns and not being able to be in the same spot as other people in life. And another thing is because of how my brain is, just as a brain, as a ADHD, possibly autistic brain. It's like I'm forever 17 but also 50 at the same time. Like I have this childlike wonder, but I've been an old soul forever. It's weird. It's quirky. I can't find the right words for this. Okay, hi, hello. You can call me Cloudy. Nice to meet you. I am 25 and I have thought about death since I was a kid, and it has brought me a lot of anxiety. I distinctively remember watching Big Time Rush when it first came out, and for some reason during the commercials, I don't know what happened in the commercials, I don't know how this train of thought started, I started thinking about dying and the concept of not existing anymore, and poor little me, I don't even know how old I was. I'll have to look up whatever year Big Time Rush came out and just like do some math, but poor little me was just terrified of that concept, and I was crying to the point of like chest pains and like my throat feeling like it was closing up. Like I was having a panic attack. It like spiraled from there. I also have a memory of when, like, you know those science museum places, and sometimes they have like these little booths where it'll like morph your face into how you'll look when you're older. I did that as a kid as well. I think that was earlier in life, and like it made me look old. Gave me wrinkles. Made my skin look all wrinkly. And I started crying. I looked at it and I started crying. I have forever not enjoyed the concept of getting old and dying. And it stresses me out every single time I think about it. And the only way to like get myself to calm down about it is like thinking, oh well, you can die literally at any time. Something could crash through my ceiling right now and crush me and I could die. I can't do anything about that. I could have died yesterday. I could die tomorrow. Who knows? And like that kind of brings that doesn't bring comfort. Well, I was gonna say that brings comfort. That does not bring comfort. It's more like absurdity of it all. Like, oh well, can't do much about it, so it just is what it is, I guess. So I either think of that, or I either think, well, you wanted to die for a lot of your life. and yet you're still here, so you might as well keep going, you know? Like, just for funsies, just to see what happens. I think getting older is some parts of figuring out who you are and, like, experiencing things the only way that you can experience things. And another part of it is, like, question mark, exist? I don't think there's, like, some secret sauce to being an adult or growing older. I think it's like you just do it. Like, I used to think that I would just have it figured out. I thought I would have a house and the white picket fence and the family and all of this kind of stuff by the time I was 25, and it didn't happen. It hasn't happened. And part of that is because the world is on fire and our government hates us, and the economy is made up pieces of paper that don't value your time. There's a lot of things going wrong on the outside, so it's like you can't really blame yourself for not really being exactly where you thought you would be in life. Another part of it is like, this is just teenage years part 2. I still feel like I'm teenagering it up. I don't. What am I saying? Another thing that helps me cope with death and getting older related things is spirituality and being more connected with myself and the earth. It's comforting to think of the universe being like this whole thing that we all interact with and we are a part of, and we are the universe experiencing itself kind of a thing. Like, atoms cannot be created or destroyed. So we're just recycled matter floating through this space, existing in a new plane. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to say that while this is the life that I'm experiencing right now, it's nice to think that we're all connected as beings, and we all have this life force. Gosh, I sound crazy. I don't know how to describe it. It's just vibes, you know? You just have vibes. Everybody has vibes. Vibes are not created or destroyed. You just are. Astral projection, and I can't put it into words. Give me a minute. Okay, so while my experience in this vessel will end at some point, I will not end, because I am the universe. I am parts of this dust rock thing, and I'll just go back to it, and that dust rock space star stuff will be made into something else again. It's like reincarnation, but I guess more physical than spiritual, but it's also spiritual. I think there's a lot of layers to it. It's like a if you know, you know, I guess. If you know, you know. I'm going to do my best to just let go of all of expectations that I have, because expectations just they don't need to exist. They don't need to be sought out, because what is the point? Just can just do what you want to do in the moment. I want to talk about Solanin for a second. Solanin is basically what I'm trying to convey right now. You're expected to be a certain way, and you're expected to reach certain goals at certain points, and everyone has these different visions of you in their mind. But what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And even if you don't know, it's okay. You can just do what you want in the moment. You can just do what you want that week or that day. I think that's what I need. That's what I'm gonna do. Because what else am I gonna do? Nothing. It's either nothing or whatever right now. I need to stop looking at myself and looking at these different changes to my face, because my face will continuously change. I need to not be insecure about it, because it just is what it is. And I need to do what I want to do. But I need to actually do it in order to live. Existing is hard. Okay. Alright. Be nice to people. Bye. I ordered Taco Bell again. It was so sunny yesterday, and even hot. Like, it's been cold for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's hot again. And now it's cloudy, cold. So I've had a rough February. It's March now. My cat got sick, and there was stuff going on with her heart, stuff going on with her kidneys. And when we first heard about it, or I guess when it was first pointed out, the vet said that it was too bad, there was nothing they could do, and that she should just be put down. So we were like, what? This hasn't been an issue. Like, she hasn't had these issues before. Why is this happening now, and why all of a sudden she needs to be put down? So we got a second opinion, and they said that they could do surgery to fix the problems with her kidneys, and then she could take medicine for her heart, and that she still has a chance, basically. So we're like, thank you for actually trying and not just saying, okay, she needs to just die. She got the surgery, and it was brutal looking at the aftermath of it. She had to have staples put in her, and I can't imagine how awful it is to feel like that, and to be like, feel like you need to isolate yourself, because that's what cats do when they get sick. They just go off and hide somewhere. And then to go through surgery like that, to be cut open, snipped at, and then stapled back up. So after that, we watched her 24/7. I watched her when I could, and we just spent the day together. I made sure she ate, drank water, wiped her because she couldn't clean herself. She was wearing the cone. There's a raccoon on the side of the road. So I took care of her, and during the night, she hated being stuck in the crate, but I couldn't let her walk around because I didn't want her to get the cone off and end up irritating where she had the surgery. So I put her in a box, but I kept it like in front of the crate so that she couldn't like roam around, but she preferred the box, so she slept in there for the night. She's an annoying cat. She was very sassy, had a strong personality, but she also had moments where she was really sweet and like came up to me and like nudged my hand with her head and was just a cute little cat. Like she would mess with my other pets and scare them and play with them and be rowdy, sometimes too rowdy. And she would meow in the middle of the night and to wake us all up because she was so loud. When we were taking care of her, we would put on this video of rain sounds, and she liked that a lot. It calmed her down and it helped her sleep when, like, sleeping was it's important to sleep when you go through something like that because it's easier to heal. I think I need to pause for a second. The guy at the drive-thru is so nice. I've seen him a couple times and he's always present and personable. I always leave feeling better. Even if it's something small. Like, he saw the little seat covers that I have. I don't know if you can see them, but he saw them and he was like, whoa, those are so cool. I was like, thank you, it was a birthday gift. And he said, whoever got you those is awesome. So, it was my birthday this past month, a few weeks ago. It was a shitty birthday. So, after the surgery, we took care of my cat. Her name is Cookie. Yeah. After that, I saw that she was getting better. She seemed like she was getting better. And, she just... So, she was doing good. The staples were taken out. She was getting more energy. She was eating. And then, fluid was filling up her abdomen. And they couldn't figure out why it was happening or what it was specifically unless they took the fluid out and, did, like, x-rays on her and all these other tests. This was after she was taking medicine to, like, stabilize her heart and her kidneys. But ultimately the vet said, well, if we help, like, if we take out the fluid, if we drain it, it could just fill up again. Like, it's likely it'll just fill up again. And we think it's because of her kidneys. But if we treat her kidneys, then her heart suffers. So you can't do one without the other being bad. And ultimately she couldn't do anything. She couldn't make it. They gave her oxygen. They had her in, like, this little crate thing and gave her oxygen. She looked fine. Her eyes were widening again. She was, like, walking around and meowing and just trying to make her way out of the crate. But she wasn't going to be able to, like, breathe. You could watch her chest, her tiny little back and chest move off because of the fluid. She was suffocating. So we had to make the decision to put her down. when they were describing how everything was going to go, they said, okay, there's going to be 2 injections. The first one is to put her to sleep. The second one is to ultimately stop her heart. And when I heard that, I completely broke. It's been hard initially to hear about what issues she's been having, because my dog, my first dog, who I had for 17 years, had kidney issues before he passed. We had to put him down. And he was so skinny and weak, and despite that, he still had the same personality, trying to mess with me. I remember I was feeding him some food. I was trying to get him to eat, and he was like chewing on the container, and I was trying to get it out of his mouth because you can't eat the container. And he started growling at me because he would never bite me, but he would always be like, and like mess with me and stuff. But yeah, they still have their personalities. They still exist. Like, they're these little living, breathing creatures, and we had to take away their lives because they were going to have an awful time living before they ultimately died on their own. And I think that that's such a crazy concept, how you can just... Kill is a strong way to put it, but it's what you do. Like, they're no longer living. You stop their heart. And yes, it's better than just going through more pain under the needle, or just pain in general. But it's wild that we can just take away their lives. I'm having a hard time thinking about death. I've lost pets, I've lost people the last few years, and my anxiety around death has gotten worse and worse because of that. I remember there was a time where I was watching TV, I think it was the middle of the night. I was watching Big Time Rush. I think it was when it first came out. And I got a free Baja Blast, by the way. It was a birthday treat thing. Shout out to Taco Bell, not sponsored. I was watching Big Time Rush, and I don't even know what triggered it. I don't even know what got me thinking about it, but I ended up thinking about death and thinking about me dying. And I was laying in the bed. I was at my grandmother's house, in her apartment, and I was just laying in the bed, and I was just sobbing. I couldn't breathe. It was probably my first panic attack. Like, I felt like I was dying, and the anxiety was so bad. That's how I know it was a panic attack. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt tight. I just kept sobbing. I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I can't die. Just thinking about the sheer possibility of just sheer nothingness made my tiny brain explode. And I couldn't handle it. There's also other times where I couldn't sleep, or like I would just think about death, and it would scare me so bad that I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't think about anything, and I would think, well, am I even alive right now? And I'll get paranoid. I'd be like, how do I even prove that? And it's just like, well, it's just dark and there's nobody to talk to, so just don't get in your head. Like, I'll have to pull myself out of that. But thankfully my girlfriend would be on the phone, and I'll be able to talk to her about it. But I wouldn't be able to cope with it. Literally, the only way that I can cope with thinking about death is just ignoring it, like distracting myself, or just thinking about how before you're born, you don't know, you're just not, you don't exist. So I would think that death would be like that. It's just, you're not there for it, so you can't really experience it. And I guess that would comfort me, but it would also bring up more anxiety about just dying, the process of transitioning from this living thing that I'm so used to just diminishing into nothing. I think that part of the problem is not being able to be around death in a healthy way. And another part of it is just death just sucks. Like when I heard that my cat was about to go through kidney failure like my dog did, I was like, okay, here we go. Because when my dog was going through it, we had to put fluid in him. And I didn't remember this. My mom had to remind me. I guess I just blocked it out because it was so scary. But I had to like give him an IV and put fluid like in his back, like in his neck. And he wouldn't be able to take it. It wouldn't really help. He was old, and I thought that I could help him, and I thought that he could get better. It was devastating. I remember holding him while he was being put down, and I was watching his eyes glaze over, feeling him relax until he just wasn't there anymore. And that is a crazy feeling. It's absolutely crazy to have something exist next to you and then watch it no longer exist. I'm gonna take another break. Okay. So, where was I? So, death, anxiety, bad time thinking about it. Another thing that's comforted me is getting into like spirituality kind of stuff, like meditation, trying to connect with the earth and ancestors and stuff like that. And you can think what you will, like think anything religion wise or spirituality wise. I won't stop anybody unless it negatively affects someone else. I personally, I believe, or at least hope, that there is this being or energy that exists out there and is a part of us or connected to all of us. And I think that when you listen to the voice inside you, inside of your head, inside of your heart, or your instinct or whatever that is, that's you connecting with that. And that's why meditation is nice, for me at least, because it feels like I kind of quiet out the other stuff, or at least as much as I can with my silly ADHD brain.
and I just focus on that feeling or that voice. I use the word voice loosely because it's not like I literally hear like a voice in my head. It's more like just vibes. if that makes sense. It's whenever I connect with myself or whatever it is in that way, it's like praying. It's like a prayer, and I feel at peace, and I feel like protected, or it helps me feel better about whatever's going on, like whatever I need to do or whatever I am doing. I think it's reassuring, and I don't know if it's just my brain tricking itself so that it calms itself down, but I mean, it also tricks itself to calm down by completely disconnecting from my body, like dissociating. So the brain is quite an interesting thing. Another thing is that I have looked up people's near-death experiences, and it's helped in some ways and also just created more questions in others, because sometimes people will say like they were in a coma and they saw absolutely nothing, they come back and it's like they just pick up where they left off. It was just like a switch flipping on and off. And in that, I don't know if I can say I relate to it, but it's like I've gotten my wisdom teeth taken out and I was put under for that. And that process of being put under is eerily what I think that death would be like, because you don't have any control over it. You're just here and then you're not. It doesn't feel like you're going to sleep. It just feels like your consciousness is being taken away. And again, watching my pets go through that, like even fighting, trying to fall asleep was jarring. Because nobody wants to go to sleep. Nobody wants to die. So there's that, and then there's also people that say that they saw the light, that they saw angels, or that they had like an entire life, and then they wake up and that whole life that they had while they were dying or while they were in a coma was gone, or they see their whole life flash before their eyes. It's all like there's no answer to this, and it's not like you can get a trial run, die, and then come back. Like, I guess you could try to have a near-death experience, but you can't die, be gone, and then come back and tell the tale. At least I haven't seen it happen. Like, your heart can't just stop and your brain can't just stop, and then you can just come back from that, you know? Like, I guess you can like have your heart restart, but I don't know if you can come back after your brain's gone. At least from what I've seen or read about. So, with all of that, you would think the solution is, okay, well, just stick in the now. Just be present and live. Don't just exist, but live your life. But how exactly am I supposed to do that when I can't get a job that makes me able to afford to live and enjoy things? Because that's what you need in this society. You need money to live and enjoy things. And so it's like, okay, well, just appreciate the little things, like the flowers and your loved ones and anime, like just anything that you like, and that helps, and that's nice, and it's good in the moment. I try to do that all the time. And there's still this looming anxiety behind me that's like, well, it's all going to be gone one day. You're going to be gone one day. All the stuff that you collect, all these memories that you have, they're just going to not exist anymore. And it's just like, it makes it precious, but it also makes me nervous all the time because my girlfriend means a lot to me. And I've thought, well, what would happen if she's just gone? I don't think that I would be able to recover from that at all. So like I even said to her, you can't die. You're not allowed to die. And she was like, all right, I'm not gonna die. Death is, it's unforgiving, it's swift, it leaves nothing behind. And my problems are really, really small in comparison to people that experience death on a much higher scale. I had to get my thoughts out because it's been so much to not just lose pets and people, but to also not be able to find yourself because you feel so stuck in life. And when you're stuck in life, how can you enjoy life? And when you're thinking about death, how can you think about life? I go through these motions of being like, okay, I'm better now. I can enjoy things and be happy. Look, new thing to be interested in. And then on the other hand, it's like, hey, it's gonna be gone. That person's gonna be gone. You're gonna be gone. All these things are gonna blow up. The earth is gonna be gone. There's wars everywhere. Like, you have to find this balance, but there's no balance. Like, it's still gonna be there. It's still gonna exist. So it's not like you can just, I don't know. I haven't found the trick to it. Every time I get older, I think about, well, a whole new year of experiences and a whole year closer to death. But happy birthday to me. To me and my slushy Baja Blast. It's pretty good. I have about 20 minutes left on my break. I'm gonna try to calm down before I have to clock back in. Because that's what happens. The world just keeps going and you have to go with it. Animals are like babies. Like, they're babies, but they're adults at the same time. Like, they can take care of themselves, but they're also your little baby. So I just lost a little baby. Another one. Can't imagine losing an actual baby. Oh my gosh. People go through that too. Enjoy your life. Enjoy those in your life as much as you can. And even though you might be stuck right now, you might not be stuck later. Hopefully. That's what I'm telling myself, at least. Cheers with my quesadilla. Be nice to people. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Time didn't necessarily heal the wounds that other people and animals have left me. It just helped me adjust to what it's like living without them. So I know it's just going to take time to remind myself that she's not coming back. But it won't help that go away, if that makes sense. I've had friends that lost parents And I think that it's nothing compared to what I'm feeling. So I hope my words about this little creature that lived with me was helpful. Her name was Cookie. She was a good cat. She liked rain videos and tuna yogurt treats. She would jump to the top of the stairs and hide in the basement. And she was a good cat.